crying.
Welcome back. Alright, the assembly. So we've got our manual out and we're kind of going over things. Obviously it's pointing out all the tools that we're going to need. Hex drivers 152025, nut drivers a 40, a 55, and a 70. Thread lock, glue, grease, ABS, spray paint, other various tools. Our electronic equipment, we're going to need servo, ESC, battery, receiver, of course other batteries, and a controller, since those things are obviously not in the kit. We've got our bed, as they call it, the plank, and all the parts that are going to go into that. Our frames, which we of course took out in the unbox video just to kind of show everything that's there. All the parts that put the wheel and tire together. I'm actually kind of glad that they've got this together because there are a lot of screws in each one of those. As you can see, all those screws on the outside you've got to put together for the bead lock, and then of course the inner screws for the hub. So yeah, I'm kind of glad they already put that together. It's kind of a nice little starting point there. Bag B, which is the transmission, again, already assembled, put together. Now we're probably going to go ahead and pull this apart, double check for grease and things like that, make sure everything looks good there, but we'll go ahead and go with that. Let's see here, all the axle components, again, as we saw in the unbox, the axles already all assembled, put together, ready to go. Again, same thing there, we're probably going to pull those apart, take a look, make sure they are greased up. See here, our light kit and all the wiring, our drive lines, which I did go ahead and pull out. Now, one of the things I saw is that a lot of people were talking about these CrossRC vehicles needing an upgrade on the drive lines from the get-go because they were not metal. However, on pulling this kit apart and taking a look, we can see these are metal, pretty robust as well. Nice and thick, already greased up pretty well, and I slide real nice, but metal end to end. So we don't have to worry about that. Let's see here, we've got all of our leaf springs. Bag F, bag G, of course, is going to have our linkage, our servo mounts. Bag H, a lot more screws, nuts, our cab there, interior, wipers, see, dash, roof, other components for the cab, and we get to step one. Now step one, of course, is the wheels, thread locking, putting everything together. Again, as I had shown, everything is already together. Now the spare, they did go ahead and go a little bit cheaper on the spare as opposed to giving us an actual wheel that you would run on the truck. This is one, I mean, you certainly could run it on the truck because it does have the hub and everything. It's all there. Of course, this is just unfortunately, the cheaper version. So, you can see it really wouldn't look the same on the truck. But, it is what it is. So, apparently step one, we're already done with because it's been done and it's been built. Step two, these are going to be the gears that go into the transmission. Now, one of the things that you'll notice right off the bat, all the parts actually do have, what bag they go to. Like you can see there, this is bag F. However, once we actually get into the list, there are no part numbers. I mean, as far as the bags go. Say like the Vetera Ascender, for instance. Veteras will actually label the bags, bag 1-1 and 1-2 to base it upon what page you're on in the book. With these, like say I've got bag F right here, so we would have to take a look over here and see, okay, there is bag F. I'll figure out what's in bag F and then relate that to what it's asking for here in the book. So, a little bit more confusing, a little bit more time consuming than the other manuals, but hopefully it'll still be fairly easy as we kind of run through this whole thing. Now, step one, obviously completed. Step two, obviously completed. Step number 3 is the transmission going all together, and then they do note to give a power test just to double check and make sure your gears are meshed and and everything is working right. The way that I usually do that is, so the way I'll usually do this is just very simply using a 9-volt battery. Connect 2 ends, just kind of listen to it. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. Check high gear, low gear. Everything sounds great. So, step 3, good to go. And then we'll move on to step number 4. Now this is where we can actually start getting into our parts bags. You can see right there, step number 4, we're going to be putting on the mounting rails, and we'll be putting on the drive lines to the transmission and getting that set and ready.